Okay, my people, just wanted to make a nice little video today. I had one question. I'm going to try and answer that. But you know, life is short. Life expectancy is getting shorter. We've had, what's his name? The Pentagon, for the second time now, confirm UFOs, which is quite funny. You know, there are plenty of other crazy stuff going on. But the reason I say life is short and life expectancy is getting shorter, I'm actually talking about Ethereum. The problem with Ethereum currently, and I've mentioned this many times, right? So somebody asked me a question regarding Ethereum and how Ethereum fees are going to be burnt and this and that. Let me put some things into perspective. I think that's what people are missing right now, the perspective of everything, right? Ethereum currently, each developer or whatever payment platform or they are able to charge whatever they like, literally, right? So you see Ethereum gas prices spike up and spike down, and sometimes it's cheap, sometimes it's not. So there's a lot of EIP, Ethereum improvement proposals, right? So let's just call them proposals. There's many of them, but the one that keeps on everyone's talking about is EIP 1559, which is the London upgrade. They've just had the I believe it was the, what was it, name's just gone. I think it was the Belgium update or something like this, or the Germany update, god knows what it was. Anyway, but the point is look, there's so many updates, right? I mean, after the London one, they've got the Shanghai one as well due. So we don't know what the Shanghai one has, but we do know what the EIP 1559 has, and that's the one everyone's been talking about. And I'm going to stick to that one right now, okay? So the Ethereum currently, the gas fees are just too high. Whenever the network gets a lot of attention, or people are trying to move money around the DeFi, and DeFi has a lot to do with it, you end up paying a lot of gas, right? So it's kind of become the billionaires or the millionaires playground, right? So an average Joe can't move money because it's just too expensive. Also, if you look at the fee structure for the global total market cap, for every single currency, Ethereum trumps them all, right? I think it does about 2 billion a week. So that's a lot of money, right? But the thing is you've got every block transaction, so proof of work, which they're currently on, gives you more Ethereum. So because of that, I personally call it infinite supply, because there is no cap, right? So it is absolutely infinite supply. And proof of stake doesn't really solve the problem either, because proof of stake also prints infinite supply, right? So it doesn't solve anything. So this is what I want you to understand, the perspective of what's going on. So the proposal is, right, what they want to do is have a standardized fee structure. So there's a minimum and there's a maximum and probably something in between. They also want to introduce, until the ETH 2.0 comes out, they want to introduce a tip function. So you can actually tip the block confirmation, whoever's doing it for you. You can tip them a little bit so your thing gets processed faster. Same thing, it's like before, where you choose a higher fee, similar kind of a thing, but there's a base fee. That's the base fee. Now what they're going to be burning is from the base fee, right? They're going to be burning it from the base fee. That's all they're going to be doing. Now, nobody really knows how much the percentage is going to be. No one's actually spoken about that. No percentage has been shown. Everyone's got these theoretical numbers. It could be 1%, it could be 10%, it could be 20%. We don't know, right? So we don't know how much of the fee Ethereum will be burning. Now, this is where things really get interesting. If Ethereum, for example, I'm just going to give you a rounded example here. So say for example, if Ethereum every day for daily transactions, the miners get 1,000 Ethereum, and if Ethereum burns 100 Ethereum, right, so 10% of that, if they burn it, is it really going to bring down the Ethereum total market cap? No, right? So of course it's going to make it more interesting, it's going to make it cheaper, more and more people are going to use it. So the answer I gave to this person at that time, I said, look, as long as there are buyers, Ethereum price will always go up. And it's the same for any currency. A coin will only die when there's nobody willing to buy it. If somebody's willing to buy it and hold it or whatever, or stake it or anything like that, right, ultimately the price will always go up, and the price will go up based on a stock to flow model, right? So how much supply there is and how much the price should be, it's always going to be the same, right? Unfortunately, with Ethereum, there is no stock to flow. There's a like simplified version, but there can't be, because the stock is not fixed. So this is what I've said. I said Ethereum will explode. I mean, I could see an Ethereum to be, and I've mentioned this before as well, 20,000, 50,000 Ethereum, $50,000 I'm talking about Ethereum, if Ethereum puts a cap on it. So what I would really love to see is Ethereum come out with a proposal and say, do you know what, finally guys, we're going to block it. We're going to block it. That's it. There's going to be no more Ethereum after this. That changes everything. Okay, trust me, that changes everything. Just like Bitcoin has 21 million cap, we know there's only ever going to be 21 million, and we know the last coin is ever going to be mined in 2140. If Ethereum did something like this and says, okay, the last coin is going to be mined 200 years from now, boom, problem solved, right? So that's what we need to see, not all of these fee structure, this, that, whatever. It doesn't change anything, right? When the ratio I just gave you, you're going to print 1,000 and burn 100. Well, tomorrow you've got another 100. You're not really reducing the supply, right? So these are the things people have to really understand. Of course, a lot of people get highly excited, and they like to hype it. Oh, this is what's going to happen, and kind of blow things out of proportion. But that's why I always say, always take 2 steps back and look at the bigger picture, right? So the bigger picture is, it doesn't really change anything. Of course, there's going to be a lot of bullish action. There's going to be a lot of hype around it, but the fact is completely different. We don't know what percentage they're going to be burning. We don't know even if they're going to be agreeing to burn, because a lot of the miners are angry about it. We know this, right? Because miners want more money. Now, the reason Ethereum has created this, right, or has proposed to solve this problem, is because by miners doing what they're doing, miners are kind of taking control. So Ethereum wants to balance this, right? And this is where places like Rocket Pool, places like Anchor, they come in handy. Matic, all of that. Right now, Matic is relevant, right? And a few other coins, they're quite relevant. Loopring, relevant. Why? Because they are the layer 2 solution to Ethereum's current problem, fee problem. So they, if you go and transact Ethereum through them, then you basically pay a lot less fee. And that's what everybody wants, less fee, or 0 fee if possible, right? That would be even better. But obviously then miners wouldn't do anything. But that's where the proof of stake comes in, where you don't really need anybody putting any hardware, make it eco-friendly and whatnot. And everybody gets the benefit if they want to commit to it. If they don't, then nothing happens. It still gets done. So it's more of an automated system, and that's actually good for the system, right? Good for the ecosystem. So nobody's taking the dominance, and nobody's threatening to shut down Ethereum, or we're going to dump all of this. I'm talking about dumping. This is exactly what the miners have been doing. A lot of the miners have accumulated so many Ethereum that they can literally change the price tomorrow. If they decide to dump, right? If they decide to dump all the Ethereum, we could see Ethereum going back down to, I don't know, $500-600. That's the power they have. So, these proposals and these improvements that they're doing solve all of these issues, right? Especially proof of stake solves this, I reckon, more. Because you need to have a balance, right? For example, Bitcoin, right? When miners mine Bitcoin, they do keep a certain portion of it, right? And some of the early miners have kept a certain portion of it, right? But they still need to pay for their electricity, gas cost, and everything, right? All of those, whatever, the utility they're using in order to mine it. And that actually takes away a portion of their whatever they mined. So they're spending money to do the mining, and of course they're treating themselves as it's a job, right? It's end of the day, it's a business, so they obviously got to make some money out of it. That's what they're doing. So that's a good thing. Whereas in Ethereum, a lot of the mined coins never get sold, never get sold. And, they just hold, and then they threaten to dump all of it. And if they do, trust me, they can impact the industry. With Bitcoin, they can't do anything. They just can't do anything. So I just thought, I kind of talk about that and make you understand. You got to look at things in a different perspective. You got to obviously zoom out and see what's going on. Now, let's talk about market, right? Market is holding above 2 trillion, which is brilliant, right? We need the market to hold above 2 trillion. We've got Bitcoin holding above 1 trillion, barely, barely, right? But it's a good thing. What we have noticed is that the Ethereum, Bitcoin's dominance is dropping and Ethereum's dominance is gaining. So Ethereum currently is, I think, 15%. And I remember we had as high as 25% dominance at one point. So dominance is growing, which is good. Plenty of other coins coming in, plenty of other coins taking a bit of the market share, which is also good. There's nothing wrong with that. But during this time, what you have to notice is you're making more and more Bitcoin from your altcoins, right? And it's a matter of time. It's a matter of when. You know, it's not an if, right? Bitcoin is going to flip. Right now, Bitcoin is going to be facing massive resistance all the way up to 65,000 again, right? If anybody wants to know what's the what price do we have to go above and break resistance to go, you know, continue the bull run, if there is one, and I say there isn't, right? But the point is if we are to continue, we have to go and break above the 65,000. Once we do that, then we're going to create new all-time highs. Until then, everything is a resistance, right? Everything all the way down to 41,000 is actually a support and resistance. So this is what it is. So we can still go all the way down to 41,000. It doesn't invalidate the bull cycle if there is one, right? So let's see what happens. But Ethereum right now, all the attention is gone to Ethereum. We're seeing, you know, people just buying Ethereum, moving it off. We're seeing a lot of Ethereum movement. And I've noticed Ethereum is right now entering the DeFi space, right? So when you look on chain, you can see how many Ethereum have moved over from, you know, someone's bought it in an exchange and moved it over to a DeFi protocol, right? And that's what they're doing. They're just making more money from that. And earlier on, I said Anchor and Rocket Pool. Let me explain what Anchor allows you to do. Anchor allows you to stake Ethereum less than 32, because, you know, if you want to do Ethereum mining in the future, then you need, I mean, right now, if you want to mine it, you need minimum 32 Ethereum to mine it, right? Stake it and get some rewards. But Anchor solves that. Anchor says, well, no, you don't. We've got a pool. You can join in with whatever, right? With a very small fraction of an Ethereum, you can still join and you can still benefit from the greater thing. This is why Anchor is relevant. Rocket Pool, same thing, relevant, unless Ethereum changes the rules and says, well, you don't need 32. So these are layer 2 solutions that already give you, you know, a solution to the problem, right? So you know, a lot of people can't afford. I mean, how many people can afford 32 Ethereum now? If people understood it and did it back in the days when the proposal was made, and that time Ethereum was like, what, $100, $200? I mean, if people understood it then and even listened, they could have done it. But a lot of people didn't understand it. A lot of people found it very risky, because, you know, every news that breaks out, there's always an equal, a positive and a negative, right? You'll have your guys fudding the whole thing, right? Oh, it's going to fail, you're going to lose your Ethereum. And then you have the other guys saying, oh, it's great and this and that, right? So I was on the great book. I was on more on the positive note, right? Because I said, no, this is good because I see the positiveness of all of this, right? It does help Ethereum a lot because Ethereum is congested. I mean, you've got almost, what, 9,000 projects built on it? That's pretty much, you know, 90% of the coin market cap is built on Ethereum. So of course it's going to struggle. So, you know, it needs to solve some of these problems, which is good, right? So that's what I'm saying. And also it will make, if the fees can be dropped, we don't need coins like Matic. We don't need coins like Loopring. We don't need any of those projects. We don't need a layer 2 project to solve the problem if Ethereum itself can solve the problem. So yeah, I mean, there's some good news coming in. So this is what I'm saying. So remember, I said there are coins that are relevant and there are coins that are not relevant in the future, right? Right now, everything's relevant because they're going to make you money, right? But in the future, half of them are not going to be relevant anymore. So I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to really talk about anything else. So that's about it. I mean, but yeah, I mean, talking about aliens, right? There are. So I just wanted to drop this one in there as well. This is the second time where a video footage has been confirmed by the, what's it called? By the Pentagon that it is authentic video. of a unidentified flying object. Now, nobody's suggesting it's aliens. It could be anything. You know, I have a whole different theory regarding this, and if anybody wants to know, I can make a whole video on it explaining what this personal theory is. I've been kind of how would I say this? So, you know, aliens and space and whatnot and science and logic, right? I've been on it for 15 years now. 15 years now. So yeah, you can call me a guy with a tinfoil hat, right? It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm not saying anything. I mean, if there is a conspiracy, you need a lot of people. The conspiracy that we had since 1947, Roswell incident, in America, or New Mexico actually to be precise, right? That was the conspiracy where they denied it. The government denied it. The government lied about it year on year until 2017. That was the conspiracy, right? Whereas in most people who are pointed fingers at said, oh, you guys are nuts, you guys are idiots, you guys are this, you guys are that. They all ended up proven right, because they did say, yeah, there is something going on. The government is conspiring to hide evidence. Why? We don't know, right? But we all have our own theories, and we can talk about that. So yeah, I mean, guys, just stay safe, stay healthy. You know, there's a lot of drama going on, and also there's this whole thing about the Great Reset. Everyone's trying to figure out what is the Great Reset. A lot of people say it's the Great Reset is going to be to do with the money, like the Bretton Woods reset they did back in 19-something, I forgot, 1913 or 1930 or something like that. But the whole thing is it could be money, it could be something, we don't know, but there's a lot of drama going on, there's a lot of craziness going on in the world, and all I'm going to say is, guys, just stay safe, you know, and that's it, you know, because a lot of these things, they can depress you, they can mess with your immune system, mess with all sorts of other stuff. So, you know, other than that, I don't want to say anything else. I hope this video was informative regarding the Ethereum, yeah, a Bitcoin, obviously, as I said, Bitcoin, we're going to be bouncing up and down a little bit. The only time we are going to be looking positive is if we break above the $57,000 trend line. Then we're going to be looking positive. Also, what I've recently started doing is I've put one specific chart that I follow in my description. So there's plenty of other stuff in the description, my disclaimers, everything, links and everything. Please feel free to go and check them out, and you'll see all the public stuff. Also on TradingView, I've made my profile kind of public, and I started publishing stuff now as well. You know, I never did that before, but recently I started doing it because there's a lot of people who need help, and I'm just trying to help as many people as possible and educate them and say, right guys, these are the tools that I use. You're free to use them if you want, and I hope it helps you. I know some of the guys are benefiting from it, who have figured it out. Some of the guys who haven't, well, sadly, there's nothing I could do, right? There's no way I'm going to be helping anybody. I'm not a financial advisor. You do you, I do me, right? I can only teach you to fish. I can't give you the fish. It's not part of my motto. So other than that, guys, I hope this was informative, and I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. Put it in the comments, and I do read them, so I'll get back to you. And also, guys, I will never ever post any of my public information in the comments, right? Anything I want, you know, if I want to do something, it's going to be either in the description or the about page. So if I am going to expose my email, my WhatsApp number or anything, they're all going to be in my description or my about page on the channel. They are never ever going to be in the comment. Those people who are acting like me, right, or have my icon, they're scammers. So please be aware and don't fall for it, okay? Because all they want is your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency or anything like that. They're just there to scam the life out of you. I've noticed that majority of the channels that show popularity, if they become slightly popular, then these scammers target them and they do all sorts of crazy stuff. So please beware, okay? Other than that, guys, adios amigos.